Hi, I'm John from Workshopaddict.com, and today we're going to talk about the X-Carve from Inventables. Inventables is a company that is trying to bring 3D creations to the forefront, and one of the ways they're doing it is making it a lot more affordable than it was in the past. A few years ago when 3D carvers started to get hot, they were $3,000 a piece, and you're getting just a small little unit. And Inventables has found a way to make this a lot more affordable for someone who wants to get into it. Now, for instance, right here, this is a 31 by 31 work area Inventables. This is their biggest model, and for the X-Carve, and this one, all decked out, it's about $1,400. They have other options too. They have a 12 by 12 unit, so a lot smaller if you're just going to be doing small items. Which I think is, I can't remember if it's between $700 and $900. And if you have one of their old Shipoko units, they have an upgrade for those too for about $200. So they have a lot of options. Now, the way that they keep these prices down is this unit has to be assembled. You have to assemble the whole thing. This is kind of fun. Their website has all these directions of how to put it together. Read them very carefully, because depending on what option package you got and what you got into it, you got to make sure that you read all of the plans so you know what you're doing. There's also some video guidance to show you visually how to do certain things. Very helpful website. If you do get stuck, like I said, their support is phenomenal, along with their forum. The people there are just really knowledgeable on how this works out. Little background on me, I am completely a newbie to this. I've never worked with 3D stuff, so all of this was foreign to me, making it very intimidating. Now, I'm going to tell you right now, it wasn't easy, but it wasn't hard either. And I made a few mistakes along the way, and through the support of the website, I was able to find out what I did wrong. They troubleshot it with me, figured out I actually made a couple mistakes. They sent me some new parts to fix my screw up. And so I've been playing with this for a long time. Assembly on this unit took me, on and off each day. I was working on it probably 10 and a half to 12 hours. So there is lots of time involved in putting this together. But the really cool thing is it's fun. This is something you look at and you're like, holy cow, I put this whole thing together. There's lots of wires that need to be hooked up and run. You even have to build your power supply and put this whole unit together. Now the power supply itself, the box, that came put together, but then you have to do some other things. There is some light soldering involved, so you need to be able to solder or have a soldering iron or know someone to do that. Other than that, basic tools put this together, not too difficult. Allen wrenches, some open-end wrenches, and some star bits, so torque bits, excuse me. Very easy to put together, just takes a lot of time. Be patient with it. It's a lot of fun if you just take your time. And after that, when I got it all together, I had a small issue with the unit. It was cutting very erratically, and I was at a complete loss. Again, their website helped me out, and I found out underneath the fan here, there are some settings, X, Y, and Z axis settings, that I just needed to change a little bit with a screwdriver, and all was well. So this thing works great. It's a lot of fun to do. Now, another thing is you don't need any expensive software on your computer to run this. XCarve has their own browser-based program for this called Easel. So you can log in through Inventables, get signed into Easel, and you can create what you want to do directly on that program. Or you can import an SVG file. That was one of the most difficult parts for me, is figuring out how to go from a JPEG to an SVG. Then I found out there are a few free programs on the internet where you upload it and you could just convert it to an SVG, and life's been grand since then. So what we're going to do is we're going to step you through the Easel program right now, show you how I'm setting up, how simple it is to set up a project. So what you need to do is open the Easel app, and the way you get that is through Inventables.com, and then you sign in. Once you sign in, it's going to look like this, and what I have just done is I'm importing an SVG file that I had converted on the web, which is our new logo for Workshopaddict.com. Through here, we're going to resize the image, which is easy as drag and dropping. And we are also going to go and change our material type, and this is kind of important because that's going to set your spindle speed or the speed of the XCarve. And what we also need to do is tell it how big our workpiece is. So simple, set up your XY axis and your Z axis, telling it how deep and how wide and how tall it is. Very simple to do. It's explained very well on the website, you can see. I'm changing the speed of the unit right now, which when you have the 24-volt spindle, it will be set for you already. With the DeWalt, I'm going to speed it up a little bit. Now I'm going to center my project and change the depth. I don't want to cut all the way through the wood. I'm only going to cut a 1/4 inch into it. Now you can either outline it or fill. So I've switched over to an outline, and I'm going to go through the options here to see what the image is going to look like. They preview it whenever you change another selection on here. Now that you're all set up, it's time to hit carve. And that's going to take you through some sequences to make sure that your XCarve is set up correctly. It steps you right through with easy questions here, like what size your bit, you know. And now we're going to home the bit. We're going to tell it where the 000 point is. And this is a step that's extremely important to be careful with because you can configure your XCarve a couple different ways. You can have the limit switches on it, which should help you to move it in the right position. But if you're not careful and you go down too far on your Z-axis, you could be driving the bit directly into your workpiece without it spinning, which is not good for the system. So, you know, take your time and make sure you do small increments, especially when you're going down with the Z-axis. I've had this happen once, and there's really no way to stop it while it's moving down. So once you have it 000 in your home location, then you're ready to continue on. What you can't see real well here is I'm using a wireless mouse and keyboard to change my values and to click it over to its home location. It usually takes a few seconds, but it's not hard to do. Now that you've set your home position, it's time to let easel know where it is. It's going to step you through a few more questions, like turn your spindle on, you'll confirm that it's on, and once that's done, a little green button is going to say start carving. Once you click that, you will actually be going live. As you can see, with the speed of the spindle and the unit moving, projects can take you quite a bit of time. This project I did took about 2 hours to complete. And there's a little guide on the easel program that will tell you approximately how much or what percentage of your project is through, so you have an idea. Once your XCarve has reached the end of its depth and it's done carving, it will pull itself out and return back to the home position. So if you're thinking about getting into 3D carving or just want to find more out about Inventables and what they have, go to Inventables.com and check them out. But you can see here by all the stuff I have laying around that I've been having fun with this unit, and I've got all these ideas for new projects coming out in my head. And so I'm going to get to work and make some more things. And until next time, I'm John from Workshopaddict.com. Talk to you later.